Hey, and here we go with our talk of the town here on this Tuesday on AM 1390 KRFO. It's again the kind of tradition as we get close to the end of July. We're getting ready to talk about all the fun coming up at Litomysl coming up later on this weekend on Sunday. And Roseanne Kubicek joins us once again. And boy, we're talking. This has been going on quite a few years. This festival now, back to the early '70s.
Well, this is our 45th.
Oh, well, I was close. I was close. 45th. And actually, I didn't realize that, the church itself, how old it was, 1878. And in this press release, actually, that I know it's made out of the stone, and you told the story before, but it's one of the largest stone churches in the country.
Yes, it is.
So just some incentive for those who like history or just maybe want to come look at the church building. But anyway, we're here to talk about the festival on Sunday. Things get started with the polka mass at 10 o'clock, and you want to talk a little bit about that, Rose?
Yes, we start with well, actually at 9:15, the Otana Knights of Columbus are going to bring their choir and sing in the church. And by the way, and our church is air conditioned and handicap accessible. And then at 10 o'clock, the polka mass begins, and the Litomanius group will be doing it again. And they are actually a group of parishioners and relatives of parishioners and former parishioners that have put together this group, and they put polka music to the church songs, and it really is a very inspiring mass.
Okay, that's at 10 o'clock, and then the actual festival itself starts at 11 o'clock, and we're talking about a lot of activities and a lot of food. And I guess where would you like to start? There's so much to talk about.
Well, we can start with in the church basement from 11 to 2.
Dinner.
Will be, yes, this meal. Everyone's always hungry. We will have shaved ham or turkey sandwiches, and we'll have a good potato salad with that and baked beans, ice cream and beverage, and they'll also have pie and filled biscuits on the menu there. And then outside there'll be food all day, and that'll include, actually north of the church will be pork rib sandwiches, pork burgers, brats, hot dogs. And then there'll be root beer floats and refreshments for everyone. And then just near the garage will be a walking taco stand, and then also by the school will be a brat and hot dog stand. So there'll be plenty to eat around the whole grounds.
Okay. And I remember, I think maybe it was you actually a couple of years ago, you corrected me, like I've been saying kolaches, but actually it's more like fruit-filled biscuits. Is there a little difference? Or?
Well, the bukti are
okay.
folded, where kolaches are open, and we will be making hopefully about 300 dozen of them on this Friday, and then put them in an air-conditioned room, and then they'll go on sale right next to the school at 11. And we have prune, poppy seed, and apricot, and they will be $9 a dozen. And usually we're sold out by 1 o'clock, so if you want those, you need to line up early. And I would suggest you bring a cooler to put yours in then instead of leaving them in a hot car, because that's never a good idea.
Talk about like Friday. Talk about folks like me who couldn't be there. What would I see inside the church there on Friday? Making 300 dozen of those. Is it like an assembly line, or how does it work?
Well, yes, it is. We start out some group, a certain group of ladies come in at 6:30 and they start mixing the dough. And of course you use yeast for that. Then they let it rise, and then about 7:30 people start coming, and then they start rolling. When last time we did already do 300 dozen a week ago, which were for pre-sales, and then they had 7 different tables of people assembling. You have one person rolling it and cutting the dough, and then you have somebody putting the filling in, and then you have somebody folding the sides and putting them on the pan. So it's quite an assembly line. And we had young people, old people, men, women, everyone, and former parishioners and people that weren't even parishioners that came to help. It was really great.
I'm sure it's a lot of hard work, but it's kind of fun too. It's almost like you're getting ready for Christmas, and you're talking and catching up on the news, and I bet you have a coffee break and stuff like that, right?
Oh yes, and we serve a noon meal, and then we have a crew that comes in to package them, and then we have a cleanup crew too. So it works out really well.
Okay, that's just some of the things. Well, we talked about all the food coming up Sunday at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church. You have other activities going on as well, as far as some bargains for folks, and there's games and such.
Oh yes, we have in the school building we have 2 rooms full of used bit items, and there's something for everybody there. And then we'll also have 2 rooms this year of the silent auction, and some of those rooms are air conditioned. And we have some very, very nice baskets. We'll probably have close to 200 baskets for the silent auction. And some of the items, they're going to have like a pedal toy, and they're going to have Twins tickets and lots of good gift certificates and lots of holiday baskets, lots of wonderful things.
Okay. And of course, you always have music.
Oh yes, we do. By the school, Hans Horman will be playing again. And then north of the church on the bandstand, we will have the Czech Lights from the Montgomery, New Prague area, and then the Dan Stursa Band from the Otana area. And then at 2 o'clock, the Klecker Band will be playing inside the church, and they've played at all our festivals so far.
Okay, so a lot of things to have fun with. There's games too, and anything new this year added to the festival?
Well, there's games for every age. We will have the dime toss by the garage, and then we will also have near the garage a new game called carpet ball, and it's kind of like bowling but you have two people trying to get these balls into a pocket, and whoever wins then wins the prize. And then we will also have the root beer. All the games start at 11. We will have, for the adults, we will have bingo and pull tabs, and then for adults and children, we will have the root beer barrel game, which involves wrapping. We have wrapped over 10,000 root beer barrel candies, and over 5,000 of them have numbers in them which correspond to a prize. And some of the bigger prizes for that are a bike and some luggage, some fishing equipment, some lawn chairs, coolers. And so there's great prizes to be won there, lots of gift certificates there also. And then then north of the church, that tent is between the church and the parking lot for the Red Beer Barrel game. But north of the church will be the children's games, and there they have live pony rides, and they have fish pond and plinko and face painting and prize wheel and ring the pop and car race games. So there's plenty of things, and there's lots of very, very nice prizes for that this year also.
It almost sounds a little bit like a little miniature fair, county fair, kind of like all the different things. Now the root beer barrels, if you win a prize, do you get your prize right there that day, or do you have to take it somewhere
No,
else?
you get it right away that day. Right away, actually, we hopefully have enough workers that you can get it, soon after you unwrap it. And even if you don't get a prize, you still get the root beer barrel candy.
So there you go. That's not bad. Wrapping 10,000 root beer. That I could handle the kolaches, but I think the root beer barrels would be very mundane. But of course, thank goodness you have people that do stuff.
Yeah, we have 2 women that are very willing to do that.
We should talk about, for those who always like people come for the first time, talk a little bit about parking.
Oh yes, we have a parking lot, and then actually a tarred parking lot between the church and the school, but then we also have a lot of grass behind the school. But then you can park on the road, and we do have a tractor with a tram that will pick you up, so you don't have to walk. So sometimes we have cars parked quite a ways, so that's great.
And the weather sounds decent, so you can cross your fingers. Sounds like it's pretty good. I think most people know where Litomysl is, but again, it never hurts just to remind folks that it's not like it's a place you would go on a regular basis every day you're in.
Right. It is 8 miles south of Otana. However, you cannot get out on County Road 45 right now because that is closed. So you can either follow the signs, the detour signs to go to 218 for County Road 45, or you can just come out on the interstate on 35W to the Hope exit, and then you just follow County Road 4, which is about 4 or 5 miles. And then you come to the church, the church is actually located at 9946 Southeast 24th Avenue. And and if you're coming like from Blooming Prairie, you go 5 miles north of Blooming Prairie on Highway 218 to Bigsby, and then you go 4.5 miles west on County Road 4. So it's pretty easy to find, and hopefully that the detour won't stop people from coming, because, like I said, if you come out on the freeway, it's just as fast.
Yep. So a good thing to point out, and a lot of us, I bet you that's what you had to do when you came.
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah, I don't like the freeway, but I don't have much choice, I guess. We're talking to Roseanne Kubicek coming up this Sunday, Litomysl Summer Festival, and it's on the grounds of the church. 10 o'clock polka mass, and then 11 o'clock all the fun starts up. There's some other things we should talk about. Well, how far back do you and Bruce go with the church? Grandparents, great grandparents, or were you the first ones there?
My grandparents and great grandparents were members there, and I have always attended there. Bruce's grandparents attended on his mother's side, but then his family didn't join until about when he was about 12.
Okay.
So, and we've been members ever since.
Because
So.
I was looking back, because it was the 41's the year they built the church, and 600 loads of rocks hauled in. Odds are your ancestors played a role, maybe, huh?
I think so. Yes. I remember my dad talking about doing it. Yes.
Okay, that's what I was getting up to. I wish there was video somehow of something like that. That would be interesting to see. It's fun just to look at the church itself, and if you like the old architecture or stonework too, you're more than welcome to come and just stare at the church and then have something to eat. Have we got some other things we need to talk about?
Yeah, there is going to be a display of older engines running. That'll be between the school and the church, which everybody likes to watch that each year. And then there'll be some raffles also. We'll have actually under the tent where the Red Barrel candy is, we'll have quite a few different chances. We'll have Chanhassen dinner tickets, gift certificates to grocery stores, massage, lots of good prizes there. And then also our big raffle, which hopefully a lot of people have bought a ticket already. They're only $3 a ticket, and we have 71 prizes, and the total value is $4,000 for that. The first prize is $500. The second prize is 1 week of summer day camp at Camp Pillsbury. The third prize is $250 donated by Advantage Cabinets. And the fourth and fifth prizes are $250 Steve's Meat Market gift certificates donated by John and Lynn Schiller. So there's a lot of great prizes there. You don't have to be present to win these, and the drawing will be at 4:30 at the bandstand for this one.
Does someone ever kind of count how many people you average each Sunday, or each year you do this? Or
We have never been able to count because we don't have an admission charge. We estimate several thousand, but I don't know. I mean, they're all over all day, so it's hard to say, and they come and go, so it's hard to say.
Okay. And again, it's not just a church thing. There's the food, she says, and the music, and the stores, and the auction, and the games, and all that stuff like that. Anything else before we wrap it up, Roseanne?
Well, I would just like to invite everyone to Holy Trinity Church of Litomysl on this Sunday, the July 31st. We're always the last Sunday in July. This year being there were 5 Sundays, we're on July 31st. And hopefully that'll mean that more people can come because they don't have their events of the 4th Sunday of the month. And we have fun things for every age. We have tents and picnic tables for people to sit under and sit on. And there's just something for everyone.
Okay, that's this Sunday, Polka Mass at 10, at 11 o'clock, all the fun starts Sunday at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church of Litomysl. And that's our Talk of the Town for today, here on AM 1390.